So the best feedback I've gotten from any promotion I've done is possibly or arguably the silliest one, or the silliest sounding one. Sheath underwear. Check them out, sheathunderwear.com. Very comfortable. They have that pouch for your twig and berries to sit in. Now they have the dual pouch, which separates the twig and the berries. So there's a pouch in a pouch. Check out sheathunderwear.com. I've gotten more good feedback from this, from guys like, this is life-changing, this is amazing, and I generally don't get that so much, but this was noticeable. So check out sheathunderwear.com, use promo code SSROB, that's Super Speeders Rob effectively, SSROB, will save you 20% on your order. Give me your feedback, rob@superspeeders.com. I've heard nothing but good things. I wear them, the company seems to be blowing up, so I'm not the only one. Thank you guys for watching. Thank them for supporting the channel, and we will see you next time. Morning. NSX, ready for service. And I'll show you why. And I'll also show you why I have gloves and why I have other features in my NSX. Let's see what we got here. So, let's just crank this down just a little bit. So this is not the best design, and I'm sure every NSX guy's gonna give me a hard time, but they're wrong. Because my car, I may be doing it wrong too. So I want to take the top off, because that's just what you do when you have a car that you can take the top off. Easy enough. Now the top fits handily in here. But the problem is, when you take the top off, I don't know how to keep this thing up. So like, you have to like watch what I'm about to have to do here to get this top in. Now I think I'm just gonna get a little bungee cord and go from here to here, and I'll just keep a bungee cord and that'll hold that up. But also here it says, roof can get hot during storage. Wear gloves or allow to cool before removing. So everybody that says that this is like a, oh, the top doesn't get hot, he's just being dramatic. There's a freaking sticker. They don't put stickers, and the engine is right there. Like, you can't put something directly over the engine covering all where the heat, when you see heat, it rises. So all the heat coming from that engine goes right into the top. And you're like, oh, the top doesn't get hot. Shut up. Gotta be an easier way. Now imagine the top was hot when I did that. Now another thing that may be going on with this thing, and let me fire it up, is the reason I say it's ready for a service. Yeah. I'm getting some smoky smoke right there. You'll see it in a second. Let me let it warm up, but I don't think it's anything bad. I think it's just an exhaust leak or something, but something I definitely have to check out. And you sort of hear what could be an exhaust leak. Get back to that as it warms up. My silly tinted windows. Oh, you missed it this morning. I threw my garbage in the garbage can and I saw something moving, I thought, and I'm like, well, you don't go back into a garbage can when something's moving. And I was just curious enough to look out the window when the guy got here, the garbage man, and he opened the top and a squirrel jumped about like 3 feet in the air, and that guy was like, whoa! But the squirrel digs a hole and climbs through there, and yeah, the rest is history. Let's see if this thing is smoking yet. Now you can hear like still no smoke, but there was smoke the other day, and there's no fluid leaking under the car or anything like that. But take my word for it. It's time for a service. All right, so I just got back from driving it up to Danbury, Connecticut, which is about a little over an hour each way. And I'm right, it is time for a service. Drove perfectly fine, didn't overheat, didn't have any sort of like reliability issue like that. But while we were driving, and I don't think it's my bump and sound system because I don't really have one, this panel here fell off. And yeah, and it's just one of these tabs. If you look at this tab here, cheap little tab, but the one on the passenger side broke off. So this panel back here that covers these computers, you could take a peek back there at the computers, flopped. Actually, you know what? There's supposed to be 3 of them. There's one here that's also missing. Somebody broke it off in that ass. And now it only had this one and this one, which failed. And I don't know what it was from vibration or whatever. But the car's got 95,000 miles on it. And I was just about to look into what the next service is. So I've got to fix that. Those are cheap. And I was thinking about, all right, it's got almost 100,000 miles on it. What else do I want to change? And now this bothers me, and this is just, I don't know what caused this to sort of fall apart, but when the top is on and the window's closed, you get a little air noise coming through because of this. And unfortunately, I don't think they sell aftermarket ones, but it goes from here all the way up and all the way over, and that's like $600 or $900. I don't remember what it is, but it's not cheap, and that's unfortunate. So I'm going to replace that too. A little quality of life thing. I looked, and believe it or not, and that's really all that's wrong with it, because I just did the slave cylinder. Everything else is real nice. The only other thing that I would fix or replace is the center console, but that somebody made that anyway. So you see little cracks like here. That's somebody fabricated that. That's not a factory piece, and I don't know if I'm going to spend the time or money fixing that. As I said, there's no leaking. I got to get to the bottom of if that's smoke. It could have just been water from the rain burning off, but I don't think so. It had a scent to it, so I think it was exhaust. And that had me look up what the service that's going to be due on it or is past due. And believe it or not, maximum service exceeded. So Acura gave you a service schedule up to 90,000 miles, which is, they generally say okay, a car's going to drive 200,000 miles. They give you that. And believe it or not, a lot of Acuras have exceeded that service. Nothing really crazy. The air cleaner element has to be replaced, but they do that every 30,000 miles anyway. Inspect valve clearance, that's a big one. That's something that actually, you know what? They've got that every 15,000 miles. Who knew? Fuel line connections, inspect those. They want you to replace oil and filter. They want you to do that like every 4,000 miles on this car if it's driven in like stop and go. Alternator drive belts, swap that. Cooling system hoses, inspect. Transmission oil at 100,000 miles, that's every 30,000 miles they have you switch that. New timing belt, inspect the water pump, inspect the exhaust pipe and muffler, which ideally will point out if there is some gas is leaking. Brakes, but I've just replaced all the brakes for the big brake kit, so there's nothing to do there. Replace ABS fluid, but that's all done. And the alignment, check suspension mount bushings, power steering system, and tie rods, steering gearbox, and boots. So it's just like a visual inspection. Not a really big service, but this car sort of needs it. And I'm actually surprised that I've exceeded the maximum service, because there's so many NSXs out there that blow way past 90,000 miles. But she's doing good. I'll bring it in for the service. Hopefully it won't be too expensive. I don't expect it to be crazy expensive. I'll let you know what we find out in the back. That's a little tab. I'll let you know what I can try to get this for. I mean, they don't really make it aftermarket, and I think this front one has to also be swapped. No, it doesn't. I thought I remember hearing, maybe it's all from this. Anyway, this is what the other side's supposed to look like. But there you go. NSX holding up well. I obviously road tripped it this morning without even a problem. I don't want to call it a road trip, but 250 miles today, 125 up, 125 back. Even when I'm like, oh, I think she's broken, I still don't have to worry about taking it on the road. I'll let you know what the service costs. We'll keep you up to date on that. Thank you guys for watching. I will catch you next video and see you tomorrow.